We're back working on the Briggs Model Y engine today. The last video I showed cutting the valve seats in the block. Now we're going to reface the valves. This is an old Sioux valve grinding machine, model 622N. I don't know for sure when it was built. I would guess in the 1960s or 1970s. This machine actually belonged to my grandfather. He worked in an international harvester dealership, as well as having his own shop. This grinder was made by a company, Albertsons and Company, in Sioux City, Iowa. It still does a good job, and I don't know if they make this particular grinder anymore or not. You can still get parts for them. So we'll demonstrate grinding some valves now. This is the intake valve. I marked it. To grind the valves, you insert them into this chuck, tighten the chuck down, and there's a stop back here you can adjust so you can put the valve back in there. If you had like a Chevrolet V8 or something, you had 8 intake and 8 exhaust valves, you could set this and put the valves in there the same position every time. Saves you a little work. This engages the spindle here to turn the valve, and the valve turns clockwise and the grinding wheel turns this way, so they're spinning against each other. Makes a real smooth surface. This is the neutral position. There'll be coolant come out of this line right here, water soluble oil. That helps cool the valve. So we'll turn the machine on and do some grinding. The wheel's running. There'll be some coolant come out of here in a minute. There it comes. And you can see the valve start to spin. That turns counterclockwise. I misspoke. This knob down here brings this carriage out, so the wheel will start to touch the valve. And you'll see some sparks fly here, and you'll be able to hear it. Right there, the valve is starting to touch. And I move this back and forth so it wears evenly on the grinding stone. This valve isn't going to take too much to get it cleaned up. That should do it right there. You can see what a nice finish that makes on it. Now there's a few little inclusions right there. But I'm not going to take those out. This will work just fine. That's where it was pitted right there. Kind of some pits, but that'll work just fine. So there's one down. These are grounded at a 45-degree angle. You can change the angle of this spindle here by loosening this bolt and it'll swivel. Some valves, I believe John Deere tractor intake valves are grounded at a 30-degree angle. Most everything else is a 45. I back that off a little bit and then bring the stone into the wheel. Well, this is the exhaust valve, so I suspect it'll take a little bit more to get it cleaned up. My coolant's a little bit low. I'll have to add a little water to it. It's water soluble oil, so the water evaporates out of it. There, it's starting to drip a little bit now. It'll be all right. That looks pretty good. Now there's a few little inclusions right there. I think this is the exhaust valve, so I'm going to take a little bit more off from it. Now on these little Briggs & Stratton engines, seems we reseated the seats in the block. We ground the valves down. Now we're not going to have enough clearance here on the valve stems. The lifters or tappets are non-adjustable. So to get clearance on the valves, you have to grind some off the stem here. And this Sioux valve grinding machine has got an attachment to do that. This attachment fits right in there. Then you can bring this grinding wheel out, grind on the side of it. It'll grind the stem squarely. And it's trial and error. You have to take a little bit off and put them in the engine, check your clearance. Because if they don't have enough clearance, they either burn the valve or it won't have any compression at all because there's no clearance. This particular engine, 7 thousandths clearance on the intake valve and 14 thousandths on the exhaust valve. The exhaust valve runs hotter, so it expands more. You need more clearance. So that's all there is to grinding valves. It's not too big a job if you got one of these machines. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, add them to the comments below.